It seems that each month in my practice there is a theme and clients will come in with the same issue. And this month it has been all about relationships. And so I thought I would put together this short video for you just in case you want to improve your relationship, or maybe you're having some issues yourself and maybe these 3 tips could help you in some way. So the first thing I want to talk about is we talk about relationship as though it's a noun, as though it's a thing, right? We say my relationship in the same way that we say my car, or we talk about our relationship in the same way we talk about our home, right? And you can't go anywhere to see your relationship. Relationship is actually a verb, and when we talk about it as a noun, it affects different parts of our brain. So when we talk about it as a noun, it tends to feel weighted, it tends to be locational, and it tends to be static and non-moving. And when we talk about it really in the sense relationship is really meant, which is relationship is about relating. And when we think about it like this, it's actually how could you improve your relating with the person that you have in mind? How could you improve your relating? And when you make it a verb, that actually affects obviously the different parts of the brain. And when we think about relating, it's process orientated, it's purposeful, it's moving, it's creational as well. So I would encourage you to, number 1, the first tip is how could you improve your relating? Number 2, what is your language of love, right? We know how we feel loved, and we know, what we like. And very often we will go out and we will do the same thing for our partner or our friend or a family member that is the same as the way we would feel loved, right? But it may not actually be their language of love. So it reminds me of a couple that I worked with in England some time ago, and he was this very high up banker, he was very high powered, and she was this incredibly flamboyant Spanish woman who, everything was about passion and dancing and moving, and for her language of love was she wanted to do things, she wanted to go out, she wanted to have fun, she wanted to dance, she wanted to eat delicious food. It was very sensational in her way of relating. Now, the way that her husband was showing her that he loved her was he would get her a cup of tea in the morning, and he made sure that the risk analysis of their relationship was okay, and that she had the best, miles per gallon car, and that it was a safe car, and they were having some difficulties. Not surprising, right? And when they talked about the language of love, and he started to realize, what she wants is she wants to go out dancing, and she wants to go out and have fun. And she also realized, what he needs is stability. He needs, he wants the cup of tea in the morning. And so they switched it, and it was as though they had a new lease of life on their relationship. They were in love again. He was going dancing. They were even taking flamenco lessons. So it was brilliant. And so it's really important to find out what is your language of love and what is your partner's language of love. And you can actually ask them. I would encourage you to sit down with one another and say, how do you feel loved? How do you feel like you are cherished? And they will tell you, right? Write it down, remember it, and vice versa, so that you share that with one another. And then that brings me on to the third one, because sometimes when people have their language of love, it's like they've got a check sheet, right? Yep, gone out for dinner, yes, made a cup of tea, yes, gone dancing, and it becomes very processed orientated, and it moves back into a checklist. And the last thing you want your relationship to be is a checklist. So the third tip I have for you is be present. It's about being in the now in your relationship. Don't drag your past into the present. Be here now. And be in that loving and unconditional space. The only past I would recommend that you bring into the present is when you think about that time when you first met your partner and you're in love and everything's fantastic and new, and you begin to see yourself through these eyes of love, and you think you're quite wonderful and everything's quite perfect. When you're in that space, you are in a space of unconditional love, because when you see yourself through the eyes of love, you can see others through the eyes of love also. So the third thing that I would recommend is that you are in that space of unconditional love. Be present and be in that space of unconditional love. So number one is, how could you improve your relating? Number two is, what is your language of love, and what is your partner or your friend's language of love? And number three is be present, be in that loving, unconditional space. And try it out. Let me know what you think. And within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be doing a recording, which I'm going to send you, of a heart-opening meditation. So if you have trouble kind of just accessing that unconditional love space, then look out for that, because that's coming up soon. Okay, hope this helps and have fun with it. Thank you for watching.